Good morning, my dear students. Today in DP, we are going to start a new chapter, that is electoral politics. Children, in our previous chapters, we have seen that in a democracy, it is neither possible nor necessary for people to govern directly. The most common form of democracy in our times is for the people to govern through their representatives. Children, in this chapter, we will look at how these representatives are elected. We begin by understanding why elections are necessary and useful in a democracy. Children, we are going to study about the elections in our country. Why do we need elections? What make elections democratic? Is it good to have political competition? What is our system of election and what makes election democratic in India? Now children, why elections? Children, this we will start with one newspaper report which was about the state assembly elections in Haryana in 1987. Children, the time is after midnight. An expectant crowd sitting for the past 5 hours in a chalk of a town is waiting for its leader to come. The organizers assures and reassures the crowd that he would be here any moment. The crowd stands up whenever a passing vehicle comes that way. It arouses hopes that he has come. The leader is Mr. Devilal, Chief of Haryana Sangharsh Samiti, who was to address a meeting in Karnal on Thursday night. The 76-year-old leader is very busy man these days. His day starts at 8 a.m. and ends after 11 p.m. He had already addressed 9 election meetings since morning. Been constantly addressing public meeting for the past 23 months and preparing for this elections. Children, Chaudhry Devilal, then an opposition leader, led a movement called Nyay Yudh, Struggle for Justice, and formed a new party, Lok Dal. His party joined other opposition parties to form a front against the Congress in the elections. In the election campaign, Devilal said that if his party won the election, his government would waive the loan of the farmers and small businessmen. He promised that this would be the first action of his government. The people were unhappy with the existing government. They were also attracted by the Devilal's promise. So, when elections were held, they voted wholeheartedly in favor of Lok Dal and its allies. Children, Lok Dal and its partners won 76 out of 90 seats in the state assembly. Lok Dal alone won 60 seats in the assembly. The Congress could win only 5 seats. Once the elections results were announced, the sitting chief minister resigned. The newly elected members of Legislative Council of Lok Dal chose Devilal as their leader. The governor invited Devilal to be the new chief minister. 3 days after the elections results were declared, he became the chief minister. Children, as soon as he became the chief minister, his government issued a government order waiving the outstanding loans of a small farmers, agricultural laborers and small businessmen. His party ruled the state for 4 years. The next elections were held in 1991, but this time his party did not win popular support. The Congress won the elections and formed the government. Now, why do we need elections? Children, elections takes place regularly in any democracy. We have studied in our previous chapters that there are more than 100 countries in the world in which elections takes place to choose people's representative. We also read that elections are held in many countries that are not democratic. But why do we need elections then? Let us try to imagine a democracy without elections. A rule of the people is possible without any election. If all the people can sit together every day and take all the decision. But children, we have already seen in the previous chapter that this is not possible in any large community, nor it is possible for everyone to have the time and knowledge to take decisions on all the matters. Therefore, in most democracies, people rule through their representatives. Is there a democratic way of selecting representative without elections? Let us think of a place where representatives are selected on the basis of age and experience, or a place where they are chosen on the basis of education or knowledge. There could be some difficulty in deciding on who is more experienced or knowledgeable. But let us say the people can resolve these difficulties clearly. Such a place does not require elections. Children, but can we call this place a democracy? How do we find out if the people like their representatives or not? How do we ensure that these representatives rule as per the wishes of the people? How to make sure that those who the people don't like do not remain their representative. Children, this requires a mechanism by which people can choose their representative at regular intervals and change them if they wish to do so. This mechanism is called election. Therefore, elections are considered essential in our time for any representative democracy. Children, in an election, the voters make many choices, such as they can choose who will make the laws for them, they can choose who will form the government and take the major decisions, they can choose the party whose policy will guide the government and lawmaking. Features of democratic elections. Now we will see what makes an election democratic. Children, elections can be held in many ways. All democratic countries should hold elections, but most non-democratic countries also hold some kind of elections. How do we distinguish democratic elections from any other elections? Children, if you remember, we have discussed in earlier chapter that there are countries where elections are held, but then also we cannot call them as a democratic elections. Let us recall what we have learned there and start with a simple list of minimum conditions of the democratic elections. First, everyone should be able to choose. This means that everyone should have one vote and every vote should have equal value. Second one, there should be something to choose from. Parties and candidates should be free to contest elections and should offer some real choice to the voters. Third, the choice should be offered at regular intervals. Elections must be held regularly every few years. Fourth, the candidate preferred by the people should be elected. Fifth, elections should be conducted in a free and fair manner where people can choose as they really wish. These might look very simple and easy condition, but there are many countries where these are not fulfilled. In this chapter, we will apply these conditions to the elections held in our own country to see if we can call these democratic elections. That's all for today, children. Thank you and have a nice day.